There was a lady named Corrie. There is a lady named Corrie Ten Boom. Some of you may know who that is. Let me put her picture up there for you. This nice old lady named Corrie Ten Boom. She survived the. She's a Dutch lady in the Netherlands. Her father operated a watch shop in their home, and they protected the Jews when the Jews were being persecuted by the Nazis who were occupying their country at the time. And so what they would do is they would take the Jews and they would hide them in their home. And when they had the opportunity, would lead them, transfer them to a place of safety. At one point, what they did was they built a closet. They built a wall. They built a closet in their wall, and it was hidden underneath the bookshelves. And at the bottom bookshelf, there was a door that you could open, and you could go in to that closet, and it fit like 6 people at one time. And it was in this house. Let me put that up for you as well. That's their house, still in Haarlem, in the Netherlands. And when her family was arrested, because her family eventually was arrested, remember, I said it's not always the safest thing to hang out with, identify with people who are in prison. She was arrested along with her family. There were 6 people who were hiding at that moment inside the closet. And among the 6 people, it has been said that the 5 of them survived the war. 5 of the 6 people who were hiding at the time that Corrie and her family were arrested survived the war. What a blessing, right? Corrie and her family, however, were not so fortunate as people count fortune. Her father was arrested, and after that arrest and after that torture, he died 10 days later. Her brother died of tuberculosis that he contracted while he was in prison. Her sister, that might have been her cousin. Her sister died while she was in prison. And so she lost most of her family. But don't feel too sorry for Corrie Ten Boom. And she had a thriving ministry until April 15th, 1983. And she died at 91 years old. And she died on her birthday. What a blessed life, to give your life for what you know is true and then still live 91 years to testify about it. Isn't that good? What a beautiful story. And her sister, the one that died in prison, Corrie quoted her as saying, "There is no pit so deep that He, God, is not deeper still." Isn't that good? Isn't that good? The faith shining out of the struggle, the pain that she was enduring. She was the one that advised, anything you love, hold it loosely. Hold it loosely. And this is what I've said, love like crazy, but hold on loosely. Because when you identify with those in prison, it is possible that many will not go with you there. It is possible that you will find yourself very much alone. The Apostle Paul experienced it that way. The Apostle Paul, when he went to prison, very, very few people were there with him. Somebody said this about ministry. I'm blessed with a wonderful circle of friends. On purpose, I have people who will keep me accountable. I have friends in this church and outside this church. Pastor John is one of them. I have some pastor friends also who keep me accountable. I have non-pastor friends who are also close to me. But somebody said that ministry is the loneliest calling on earth. This one person said to me, there will come times when you will have to go alone to a corner in the room and just cry. And nobody else will be able to go with you. I fundamentally disagree that the ministry has to be the loneliest job. The preaching ministry has to be the loneliest job. But there is an element of truth in it. And so one day, of maybe a week or so ago, I had that feeling, of being alone. And I was getting caught up in pitiful self-pity. And in that moment, I was doing my quality time. I was reading, as you know, we were reading in 1 Samuel. And you can date what that was a couple of weeks back. And I was reading about the relationship between two friends, David and Jonathan. And the Bible talks about some deep relationships. There's David and Jonathan. There's Timothy and Paul. So these kinds of relationships. And I was reading that. And I was reading how knit together their hearts were. And I prayed and I said, God, it would be so nice to have a Jonathan. And you know what I read right after that? That they had to part ways. And David got to see Jonathan only one more time after that. And then after that, all what you read about is that Jonathan dies in battle. And then it gave me second thoughts about having a Jonathan. Right? And then I heard the voice of God say to me, and all I mean by that is that he spoke to me through his word. God said to me, I am your Jonathan. I am your friend who sticks closer than a brother. Proverbs chapter 18. Jesus said, I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. Hebrews chapter 13. That can be, and that is, more than enough. Your brothers, your friends may forsake you. Your brothers may be out of reach. People that you love may die on you, but I will never leave you. That's what Jesus says. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. And I have to say that moment, this bawling, is more than enough. More than enough. And I want to encourage you, and I want to tell you that Jesus identifies with the least and the lost better than anyone. If you feel like nobody understands your circumstances, nobody understands how badly you are treated by your husband, by your wife, by your children even. One of the parents came to me and says, I was hit in the face by my son last week. It happens. It does. I know. It shouldn't. But that's how humans are. That's how people are. Expect them to be any certain way and they will let you down. But there is one person who will not. And when you are feeling like the least, when you are feeling like the lost, when you are feeling like the last, in your weakness, you will experience him to be strong. See, Jesus identified with the least, the lost, and the last better than anybody else.